Wolf, another night where it's got to be a perfect shot or a fluky tip, amazing tip in front, one off of his own defenseman's stick, another off of another player's stick. He was solid once again. We talked about it the other day. We don't talk about it again. He kind of changes things. They've got a good goalie.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a good goalie here for quite a while. Right.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 1 year left on a deal that is his second contract, and you could literally lock him up for 8 years, starting, I guess, 9, if you include the year existing on it. Like that should be top priority of the offseason at this point. After what you've seen, it has to be, doesn't it?
Well, for sure, from the team standpoint, I guess it would be. Yeah,
100%. It's just like, that's clearly your best player.
Not sure if I'm Wolf, I'm diving into that necessarily.
I mean, you could go make $2 or $3 million on a bridge deal. I mean, that's the game. Like, you definitely take the money and try to whittle back the term a little. But yeah, like, he'll be making double or triple on a long-term deal what he would if they play hardball, because he's got no leverage.
What do you see there, Rhett? Do you see him taking a long-termer right out of the chute, or do you say, oh, I'll keep playing here for a couple of years and see where we're at?
Well, I think he's confident, and I think if I was him, I was literally listening to YouTube, going back and forth.
Yeah,
I'm like, this would be what no, because I believe Cap's gonna go up. Like, it's gonna be hard for a kid that's toiled that much to turn down a big contract. Like, and I don't think the Flames are going to try and put the squeeze on him.
No.
Right? Like, I don't think it's an 8-year at 5, right? No. Like, so if it's in the realm of the top.
So what's an AAV if we believe he's in that top 10-ish, if he's going to be in that upper tier, what are we talking?
Well, I guess AAV. Let's start with the bigger boundaries. So we know that good but not great goalies are getting 5 everywhere. That's Mackenzie Blackwood. That's, Joey Decord, who I'm sure people in Seattle who watch more than we do would say he's a great goalie. Okay. But those aren't your like top 10. Those aren't your Sorokin, Shesterkin, Vasilevsky, Hellebuck, Ottinger, Demko when he's healthy. Like, there's a category of guys that are like the elites. I don't know that Wolf's in there, but he's tracking to get in there. Like, I think he will eventually be in there. So I think a conversation for the Flames, you can't start anything with a 5 or a 6 would seem too low, unless he really, falls apart down the stretch here. But he's been so consistent. Like, in St. Louis, it was odd to see one go in that shouldn't have. Used to see that once a game with guys around here.
Is there?
And it's half season. That's the thing. Like, it's still,
and that's,
I know.
I would wait. The other side of it is for the Flames. Yes, you want to get them locked up, and if you can do it, you might be able to get a good deal on them long term. But you're taking some risk too on a guy.
It's goalie, right?
We feel confident right now, but there's always risk, right? There's always a risk. Just pay him when you got to pay him.
Yeah, I mean,
is there something to be said about? I don't know if the team's good enough, but trying to take advantage of that bridge contract and that lower number. Like, you've got $20 million in cap space.
If you were a contending team, the bridge would be the move,
right? Like, that's what I mean, though. But like,
since you're not, in the sense that you've got 20 million, the strategic move would be go as long as you can to keep the AAV low. So when you are in a contention window and say 3, 4, 5 years, when all these picks, or whoever's going to make it start arriving on this roster, and you become a more desirable destination. Like, hey, that's a good team that's close to winning, I might go there. That's when you want Wolf to be at the low AAV, not coming up for a new contract. And the cap's 115 million now, and he's a $12 million goalie. Like, shit, why didn't we just lock him in at 7?
Yeah, and honestly, like, I think the Flames clearly would want to do that. To me, it would just be the player. It would be what do I think I am? He has that confidence you talked about already. He's a confident guy. Looking at next year's salaries for goalies, the 11.5 kicks in for Shesterkin. Carey Price is still at 10.5. Bobrovsky's 10, Vasilevsky 9.5, Hellebuck 8.5, Sorokin 8.25, Swayman 8.25, Ullmark 8.25. Then it's Saros at 7.7. So I
think it's 7.5-ish, to be honest, but you'd have to finish the season strong.
I know.
I don't think
if you're
he'd
going to
go.
try
All those guys have
5-6,
track record.
if you're going to try 5-6, something like that.
No.
So if I wait a year, I'll be in that 8.25, 8.5 range. I could make another.
Arb. If he posts numbers like this, he's going to get the 8 to 10. So
Saros is a very good
comp,
I think.
and he's making
7.74.
Yeah.
So,
and the way we feel about it right now, an 8-year deal at 8, I'm not. If you're a top 10 and you're going to give us a chance to win, because in 8 years, that $8 million is a discount. You're getting him
Big time.
if he's
9
playing
years,
the way he's supposed to.
so are you good at 8? If
I
this
sort of-
summer you hear a 64 mil extension?
I said it the other day on the show, flop 60 million in front of him. And that sort of comes out around that 7.5 ish number. Cause what 7 times 8 would be 56, 6 times 8 is 48. Like I think you put 60 in front of him and it's like, look, you might not be getting to the market at the right time here. I'm your agent talking to you now, but you could also blow your knee out and never get a sniff at $10 million the rest of your life. Like 60 is a huge amount of money that sets up generational wealth for your family.
Yeah.
That's hard to say no to. Right. And this isn't
he's
like
how old, and you do the 8 years and you can do the math and you can say you can add on. Like that's what it's
hell
going to
yeah.
be.
Goalies play into their 30s much more comfortably than
How old is Wolf?
other players.
24.
Is he 23? So you lock up his entire prime. Is 24 to
I mean, goalies' prime doesn't have to end as early as players, really.
No,
They're probably
but if
prime
you're
till
the team, you're like,
35.
those are the best years. We would bet on the best years being in there. And if you're Wolf, you're like saying, yeah, then at 31, I can jump in as an elite guy that maybe has a Vezina or something crazy, and I can ask for 15 because the cap's 130 million, whatever it'll be by then.
Yeah, turns 24 in April. So the next season will be his starting as a 24-year-old, which
Yes,
he's a
24-year-old
kid.
Yeah.
It'll be this is one that's going to be fun to watch for sure. It feels like there could be a big variance.
Yes, and I was just going to say, like
bucks.
Pinder said, throw 60 out there. Yeah, but to me, that's playing games with the kid.
Well, I mean, I
know what you're saying.
I'm not saying you got to do it this way because he can't say no. It's more just like, we love you. We think you are the future of this franchise and we're trying to lock you up. It doesn't have to be now you might get injured. Like, I don't think the way I described it is
that number is to me, that number is it's the carrot. It's not we believe in you. We want you. Let's make this happen. 60 is you should probably take this. Don't you think this would be good for you?
It's crazy to think that would be
I know
potentially taken as an insult, but that's what, $7.5 million.
And their goalies, like Chad Johnson was here for a year and he's still got the best.
Come on now. This
no.
pedigree is
Let me explain.
Stop.
Goalies get hot and cold. I think Wolf is a mega stud. He's dominated every league he's ever played in. There's been naysayers a lot of places. I've been pretty consistent that I think this kid's going to be a really good goalie.
Okay, so then don't talk. I mean, then you can't talk about.
What I'm also saying is that it's goalie. Carter Hart was supposed to be the next great Canadian goalie forever. It never happened, and now there's other issues that have occurred, but he never turned into an elite goalie. We've heard about Spencer Knight for years. He's a guy in the league. So I believe that Wolf is going to be an elite goalie in this league, and he's starting to prove it now. This isn't just a hot stretch, that he can consistently do this because of his track record more than anything. Every league he's dominated. But again, if you're the agent, it's like, look, man, guys just disappear at that position. It's wild.
And that's why the other side works for me as well, as an organization and as a player.
Like, think about Matt Murray.
Let's
World Cup winner, great goalie, awesome numbers. Poof, gone. Trade your bad money. You're in the minors. Like, this position, especially volatile. And so that's why I think for both sides, it's like, I think you could, where we're talking about is a reasonable place to end up.
What's a bridge look like?
I think based on he doesn't have ARB rights. Well, I got to see if he does have ARB rights because there's another year left on it. If he has ARB, that changes everything.
Yeah,
and again, he doesn't need a deal this summer. It's just when you can extend him is this summer.
Love changes everything.
I think they love him, Dean.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.